These Switch 2 leaks are out of hand because we're seeing a new leak every single day, and the Switch 2 is now officially the most leaked console in history. Some of these leaks have gotten so out of hand that Nintendo ninjas shut down what a company was doing and kicked them out of the Consumer Electronics Show. We have the motherload of all leaks here, and we're going to talk about everything. In addition to the OS, Joy-Con images, and new features it has, the full motherboard also leaked. It confirms the RAM size, how backwards compatibility will work, the ultra-powerful NVIDIA SoC, and Nintendo's patented 4K DLSS upscaling that changes everything. On top of the Switch 2 having the most powerful operating system Nintendo's made yet, the Joy-Cons of this console have new out-of-this-world features that no other Nintendo controller has ever had. And Nintendo even confirms the serial number on a real photo of it is real. Basically, everything's been leaked for the Switch 2, other than seeing games run on it. And most insiders are doubling down on Nintendo finally revealing this console this month, especially with Nintendo hinting at it on their very own X profile. WCCF Tech talks about the Switch 2 motherboard leak by saying, unsurprisingly, the first leak of the year is related to the Nintendo Switch 2. 3 pictures of the upcoming console's motherboard have allegedly leaked on Reddit. The memory appears to be SK Hynix LPDDR5 48GB. The leaked images also show NVIDIA's logo, which is again entirely expected given that previous leaks all pointed to the Nintendo Switch 2 once again being powered by NVIDIA hardware. More specifically, it will use the Tegra 239 system-on-chip SoC, which is basically on the Orin SoC family. The CPU has 8 cores and 12X ARM Cortex A78AE cores, while the GPU, based on NVIDIA's Ampere architecture, includes 2048 CUDA cores. The hardware reportedly supports deep learning super sampling, super resolution, and ray reconstruction. The latter's inclusion confirming hardware ray tracing support. It sounds amazing. This is the motherboard shown on top of a Switch OLED to show how massive it is. If we rotate the motherboard and put it over a Switch 2 mock-up, we can clearly see the cartridge slot where it should be at the top right. And note how it sticks out a little bit more than the Switch's does. There'll probably be an extension to the Switch 2 cartridge size, so Switch 2 cartridges can't fit in the original Switch, but Switch cartridges can still fit in the Switch 2. We can see the top and bottom USB ports, and we can see the slots where the RAM and the NVIDIA SoC would be placed on the opposite side of this board. One thing that makes this motherboard look real is this code right here that starts with BEE. B has already been confirmed as a code for the Switch 2, as has been found in Nintendo's own shipping data and in the Switch 1's own operating system's code when Nintendo updated it to prepare for games that are cross-compatible. BEE CPU 01 is the code number for the CPU of the Switch 2. Here's the back side of the board where we can see the RAM and the SoC card. Now this confirms that the rumors about the Switch 2 having 12GB of RAM are correct, since we can clearly see 2 6GB RAM chips here based on the numbers on them. Note that the Xbox Series S memory allocation has been problematic because it has a 10GB RAM limit, and some games need more. The Switch 2 will be able to handle these games much better, and the unique DLSS upscaling it has also makes it so it can run on even less memory too. This big chip in front of us is the NVIDIA T239 SoC chip. Many people thought this chip would be a larger 8nm chip that would require more power to run, but that would be bad for a handheld. The rumor has now been proven false though, by us seeing the chip here. It looks like this chip is a smaller 5nm chip that is both fast and efficient by not needing as much power to run. A user on Family Boards talks about this chip by saying, "We have enough information to rule out 8nm and to establish Samsung 5nm. I'm not going to read all this data, But what he's saying is the 8nm Orin model that people were thinking the Switch 2's SoC card was based off of is not the card the Switch 2 will have. The T239 card the Switch 2 has, and that we can clearly see on the leaked motherboard, matches up with a 5nm card developed by Samsung using NVIDIA technology. He says this card lines up with Samsung 5nm used in December 2021 to release Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. T239 had its first engineering samples in April 2022. The timeline also matches here. So the specs match and the timeline matches to show that this is a Samsung 5nm NVIDIA SoC. And this is exactly what we want for the power level the Switch 2 needs to have and to be efficient in using less battery power for a handheld device. We also have a USB 2.0 hub right here, which means the two new Joy-Con connectors are probably modified USB 2 ports, since Forward Backward talked about how such a hub wouldn't need to be used in the console unless this type of modification is used. This will make it much easier to design and produce new, more powerful Joy-Con accessories that can be modified to do almost anything. And we have the game card processor here. Forward Backward also talked about this by saying, "This seems to be the game card ASIC," and he then lists how similar the numbers are to the game card readers of other Switch versions. Now this motherboard looks similar to the prototype board if we flip the board around. Though they are different because this motherboard leak is from a retail version, you can see the similarities of the placement of these chips. I want to let you know that I would like to put out a new video every single day to keep up on the flood of news that will keep coming, but I need your support to reach my first goal of 500 subscribers in helping with this. This will help on my journey to buy back time for my overtime day job so I can make videos more often, and I appreciate anyone who would like to join me on this journey in helping me to be able to make the videos you like full time. So, if you're liking this information and want to keep getting more amazing Nintendo news, make sure you subscribe and you won't miss out on anything. Now, not only are these chipsets showing that the Switch 2 will have the processing power we want, but Nintendo has actually perfectly prepared the Switch 2 for the modern-day gaming experience we want by bringing the 4K graphics and speed we need through the power of advanced AI. Nintendo filed a patent in July that was published on New Year's Eve that details a unique way they're implementing hardware DLSS upscaling through their custom NVIDIA SoC chip. Essentially, Nintendo's using AI to upscale game image data real-time to a better resolution, so the system won't need to use large image data in displaying HD quality in handheld and 4K quality in docked mode. As an example, games can be made in a very small 540p resolution natively, and the system will upscale it to 1080p on the fly flawlessly in handheld mode. And game image data that's 1080p natively can be upscaled to 4K on the fly flawlessly in docked mode. This will give us the benefit of playing games in a better resolution without using hardly as much GPU processing power as games that are running natively at these higher resolutions. So, through the power of AI, games will look way better than the graphics they're made with, and just as good as any 4K games out right now, but will run way faster because they're relying on smaller image data that's much easier and faster to process. Now, don't confuse this with the image upscaling that PS5 has with PSSR that actually slows down games in some cases, because Nintendo has actually partnered with NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is the leader in AI upscaling. Nintendo also provides a better solution through this patent than has been previously implemented through DLSS in the past. Journalist Laura Kate Dill talks about this on Blue Sky Social by saying, "The more time I spend reading through the presumably Switch 2 graphics upscaling patent, the more clear it becomes its big focus seems to be creating a system that'll smooth out third-party game porting. A big focus is on developers who can provide their own training data images generated from higher internal resolution builds of the game to improve the accuracy of the upscale for their specific game. Very much feels like use the other versions you're making to help train your Switch 2 upscale. Lots of focus on if you're already making a 4K version of your game, use screenshots of that to help Switch 2 know what it's ideally aiming for to improve the quality of result when we try to upscale your low-resolution Nintendo build. This is amazing because even though DLSS upscaling is phenomenal by itself, through this process that Nintendo patented, developers can now provide a handful of 4K graphics to the AI, and then the AI can then let loose to produce the same high-quality 4K images throughout the rest of the game from using the lower quality base images. This type of image upscaling to 4K in the most accurate way is a game changer by getting the best graphics and fastest speeds. It's the future of video gaming, and Nintendo is at the forefront of it with NVIDIA. Now, to get to these phenomenal games that will look amazing and be lightning fast too, apparently Nintendo created a new operating system decked out with animated backgrounds and menu music with so many more features to make the game selection more enjoyable than ever before. User Switchboard2 posted on the Nintendo Switch 2 Reddit forum by saying, "Yes, a few devs do have limited access, and I have been able to see images. First off, this OS is basically a modernized Wii U menu. It has 10 row tiles on top at once, which is a big upgrade from the original Switch. Animated backgrounds and menu music return. I only saw the dark mode, by the way. You can tint your icons to change the color of them. All black and red goes hard. Surprisingly, Vidmeal is a legit application on the UI. I was skeptical of that at first, but it does seem to be real. No one was able to test any of the bottom applications outside of the Nintendo eShop. Apparently, it gets stuck on the loading screen. The loading screen reminds me of something from Nickelodeon. There are 6 tabs on the UI as well, so I assume you can have 60 games on the home screen at once. And because of how it's designed, you can quickly scroll through your entire library. I'm genuinely happy with the layout of the UI. It fixes all of the issues when it comes to finding your games. It basically solved the problem by going back to what the Wii U and 3DS did, but whatever. In one screenshot, there is a pointer that is being used to select Mario Kart 8, so I assume the Joy-Cons may have pointer controls? Also, your username is displayed at the top left of the screen next to your profile picture. It doesn't look like the OS allows multiple accounts at once, so I assume there will be a login feature. Yeah, that's about it. If I'm able to, I will try to get images and share with the mods for verified proof. But this OS is genuinely an upgrade over the original Switch. Like I said, it looks like a modern Wii U and 3DS menu mixed with iOS and Samsung. This OS sounds amazing, and the Joy-Cons having a pointer control is interesting. Regarding the Vidmeal app mentioned here, this post was also listed on the Reddit Nintendo Switch 2 forum, saying, Nintendo is launching a built-in social media for Switch 2 called Vidmeal. I don't want to share too much in how I got this information, because it could lead to someone getting into serious trouble. Essentially, this will be somewhat similar to what Miiverse was on the Wii U. Users can share screen-recorded content and make posts. I haven't seen it, but apparently the app icon looks similar to that of YouTube, but it's green. The app is designed in the style of TikTok, apparently with a lot of vertical scrolling to view content. Yes, I am serious. There will be a direct messaging feature and community options for a feeling of social connection. I have also been told that the C button is related to the community feature of this app. That's all I really know about this thing so far. But supposedly, Vidmeal will be available day 1 on Switch 2, with a stripped-down mobile phone version releasing sometime later. We've needed a better UI and a social community feature like this for a long time on the Switch, and I love that we're finally getting it on the Switch 2. Out of all of the rumors regarding the C button, I think the community features of this Vidmeal app sounds the most realistic, since I don't think it would be used for an optional add-on accessory like a camera that you still have to add to the console, as some people have hinted at. It should have a dedicated purpose, with it being a standalone button next to the home button, and a built-in feature that's connected to a community platform that everyone will have on day 1 makes the most sense to me. Speaking of this new C button and the pointer feature the Joy-Cons could have, images of the real thing have been leaked with complete legalese and a serial number that even Nintendo is validating. Jordan Midler talks about this on VGC with the following article. Images of alleged Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Cons have appeared online. If authentic, this could be the first proper look at Switch 2's controllers. The alleged images appear to show the Joy-Con controller that will seemingly come with Nintendo's successor console. These images allegedly originate from a factory in China, which is currently producing Nintendo's next currently unannounced console. It's worth bearing in mind that due to a large amount of information circulating from case manufacturers about the console, these images may very well be very convincing fakes. However, if accurate, they corroborate previous claims that the Switch 2 Joy-Cons will be slightly larger and feature a magnetic connection as shown in this fan-made comparison image. Now, what I want to focus on is this blue and even an orange color scheme that was revealed by the mystery Reddit leaker Next Handheld, and it now looks like everything he said and showed is looking to be true, minus the AI altered backgrounds he had, of course. Next Handheld talks about this blue and orange color scheme by saying, "Matte black, will baby blue and orange become iconic?" And then leaks like this and this started appearing. Going back to this blue Joy-Con, we find a few interesting things. There's legit looking legalese here, where we even see the BEE model number that's found in shipping data. And if you look closely at the side of the Joy-Con, we see a serial number here. What's amazing about this is if we go to Nintendo's website and enter the serial number to check its warranty status, we find that this is an actual product, since Nintendo is saying, "Unfortunately, we were not able to determine the warranty status of your product." Now, in case you think this doesn't mean anything, if you actually enter a serial number that doesn't exist, we get the following error message that says, "Invalid serial number." The correct serial number is validated when entered, but Nintendo just hasn't updated the information here to reflect the true product just yet. Circling back to the Joy-Con, we see some other interesting things. We have the magnetic connector here, and we see how much larger the SL and SR buttons are when you compare them with the same buttons on a Joy-Con from the OG Switch. We also have the sync button here, but what is this new sensor? And what are these for? As crazy as it sounds, it looks like Nintendo has also made the Joy-Con a mouse. Here we can see how the optical sensors are just like the sensors that are found on a mouse, where one sensor sends a laser and the other one catches it to track a pointer's position. We also have glide pads that can be used for a smoother use like a mouse would have. And it looks like the same mouse sensor the Legion Go uses as well. This is big because it opens up the floodgates to add another way we can interact with games on the Switch 2. It would add the pointer accessibility that could be used in DS, DSi, 3DS, Wii, and Wii U games, all of which systems I expect Nintendo will add to the Nintendo Switch Online membership at some point in the future. And it would add more functionality to games like Mario Builder, Mario Party, WarioWare, and the newest Civilization 7 that's coming out soon. I can't wait to play games on the Switch 2 with the awesome features the new Joy-Cons will have. But the leaks don't stop there. Accessory manufacturer Genki said that the Switch 2 is being sold on the black market, and they have one. They made a model that's apparently based off of this Switch 2 that they showcased at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that just ended Friday. And they made this video, which is probably still just a rendering, but what it shows is that this button right here is indeed the release button. These Joy-Cons do look amazing. Now, Nintendo was asked if the images and video leaks at CES were real by the Japanese news company Sankei Shimbun, and they said the images and videos are not official. Now, Nintendo didn't say that they're not based on a real Switch 2, or it's not what a Switch 2 will look like. They had an opportunity to debunk the CES leaks, like what happened when Furukawa shut down some rumors at Gamescom in 2023, and they did not do it this time. They just simply said they weren't official. So, is Nintendo unofficially confirming that the leaks are real? Who knows? But what's even more crazy than this is we know that Nintendo is not very happy with Genki. The reason why is Genki had a booth reserved to be at CES for the full duration of the event. They told people that they would be showing off the Switch 2 throughout the entire event, but after Nintendo's interview about the leaks, Genki was kicked out of CES and nowhere to be seen on Friday, the last day of the event. Since Genki admitted to buying an illegal Switch 2 off the black market and publicly bragged about it, Genki opened Pandora's box, and Nintendo had a legal case they could bring against them. There's no doubt in my mind that Genki got into legal trouble, and Nintendo sent their ninjas to shut them down.
Hey, open up!
Now, regardless of Genki's leaks or any other leaks that just keep on coming, Nintendo will not be budged, and they're still sticking to their plans for when they decide to finally reveal the Switch 2. What they did do, though, is hint at it coming soon by changing their banner on X to the same banner they had when they revealed the Switch over 8 years ago. And though this image kind of looks like Nintendo is trolling us by Mario and Luigi pointing to, well, nothing, kind of like what Nintendo's doing lately, many people are still doubling down on the reveal happening this month. And some people are thinking it will happen next week, even though one of Donkey Kong's remasters are coming out. Nintendo hinted at this by saying, "Will you be picking up Donkey Kong Country Returns HD next week?" And they purposefully left an uppercase S at the end of Returns, which could be related to Switch 2, and they used the Switch 2 internal code of BEE that's found on the motherboard and leaked Joy-Cons of the Switch 2. Now, supposedly Nintendo has done something like this before, like when they revealed the 3DS and a first-party Nintendo game released on the same day, but I couldn't find any proof of this. If it does get revealed on Thursday, I don't think it would impact Donkey Kong Country Returns HD sales in any way, since those who are wanting to get this game will probably still get it even if they see the Switch 2 reveal. But we'll see. Whether it happens next week when Donkey Kong's remastered game comes out, or later on in the month, I'm still betting on it getting revealed sometime this month, because there are too many signs pointing to it. What are your thoughts, though? What do you think about these leaks that have come out so far, and when do you think we'll finally be able to see the Switch 2? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching! If you'd like to see other Switch 2 leaks, you'll want to watch this video here.